I'm really excited to be here today at Michael's Restaurant in New York City with Kay Unger Pitman, who is the chairman of Parsons Design School, started her own business early in life, and is very active working with entrepreneurs and also a member of the Committee of 200. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, the Committee of 200 started about 40 years ago. So I was young and early in my company and had been on a panel with someone, and I was lucky that they chose me to want to be one of the founding members. So it started in Chicago, and what we were trying to do is find 200 women who owned and started their own companies with a value of around $10 million. And I was lucky that I was one of those women at that time, and we thought, we'll never find 200. Well, we found 200, and then the organization has grown to well over 500 members, but now you can run a corporation of over $100 million. For me, what was so incredible is I'd never had a mentor, and I didn't know other women who were in business, and I really didn't know what I was doing, but I was managing to do it pretty well. I had started a clothing company in 1970. Fun story, which I sort of told you about. It's kind of a long story, but basically my forte was that I, understood women's bodies, that was for sure, and that I had I was a very lucky girl. I was raised, I had beautiful clothing. When I went to college, I noticed that everybody didn't have what I had. And I learned by working for Jeffrey Bean, a very fabulous couture designer. And I kept looking at the clothes thinking, I think I can make these clothes for less money and give so many women beautiful clothes like I had. And my motto became, if I ever started my own business, I wanted to cover the asses of the masses. And I'm very proud that not only did I do that for now almost 50 years, is that I also understood their bodies. And now, believe it or not, I'm 74. And when I did the research, which I got from Glamour magazine when I first started in business, I said, who's going to be the buying public in the next 10 years? And they said the baby boomer. So that's me. I've been dressing her all my life, but I've been dressing her family, her kids, etc. And I understand her body changes, and I know how to make her feel good. And my forte, I was part of the Mad Men era, was little dresses. And fitting a dress is a very special and unique technique. Many of you have gone in the dressing room and found the zipper bumping. I know how to make all that better and how to make you feel good. And the other thing I taught everybody was, we sort of have lumps and bumps. That my beautiful folds on my dresses, I used to say, my folds cover your folds. But this women's group of Committee of 200, even to this day, it's kind of patterned after the YPO, Young Presidents Organization, and we have councils, and we meet once a month, and they're confidential, and we help each other. We will talk to each other about our businesses, about our lives, and that's a wonderful community that we all need to have and support each other.
And I know you work with startups at Parsons, and you've been there, done that. If you had a couple of pieces of advice for startups, what would you say to the founders?
Well, what I always say to them, first of all, we talked about the fact that an entrepreneur, if they really knew what they were doing, they would never do it. They're jumping into a white space like I did. I didn't know about business, etc. But they kind of often also learn differently. They may not have even been great in school, but they have a vision and they take advantage of it. So what I say is, trust yourself more than you might not normally. You can do most of it yourself in the beginning. Hire the professionals that you work with. Don't make them your partners till you really get to know them. I've had good partners and bad partners. And I would say that's been the biggest mistake I made. I could have lasted longer on my own. And then the networking. Write everybody's name down. Try and keep in touch. You can't keep in touch with everyone. And always remember to be kind. That the people who were delivering, clothing to me, eventually they became the editor of a magazine or whatever, and you just want to be kind. And when you do pick your partners, go out to lunch with them, go in a cab, see how they treat people. Do they have road rage? How are they in their homes? Always visit them. There's so much to learn, and if you always count on you first and hire the rest when you can. And I suggest you always go out and try and work for somebody first. Learn on their dime, not on yours. Then get started.